Okay.
Now I'm taking a slow zoom across what we call the City Bowl of Cape Town to Sabine Lehmann, who is the founder and CEO of Curiositas. Hi Sabine, how are you?
Hello, good, thanks. Nice to see you.
Likewise, we are definitely due for a glass of vino, socially distant, of course, very, very soon. Sabine, tell us, what is Curiositas? I'm
Yeah, so
curious.
curiositas is the Latin word for curiosity, and curiosity is the essential ingredient when you're trying to think about the future. The future belongs to the curious, is a quote that I like to use. Don't know where it's from, it's anonymous. And I called my consultancy Curiositas because I like the way it linked tourism, which of course I've been involved in for 25 years, where we brought curios back from our travels to remind us of our travels, curiosities from our travels. And in futures thinking, we bring artifacts or curios of the future, and we look at them today to try and understand that future. So that's kind of the link that got me to the name Curiositas. And the focus is really visitor attractions in all its form and thinking about the future, particularly in the leisure and tourism space.
And visitor attractions, you know, of course, all about, having run Table Mountain Aerial Cableway for many years, and also the Zeiss Smoker Museum here, and now advising many others in what to do. Talking about the future, in 2018, you quoted 1.4 billion crossed an international border to take a holiday, and this number is set to rise with an estimated 5 billion people traveling internationally by 2050. Now, attractions, as we said, are your passion. How will COVID have changed the attractions world? Will we flock to attractions again like we last did in 2019?
Yeah, I think we will. Having said that, it's with a caveat, and that is that trends in the attractions industry and in what we call out-of-home leisure spaces have been changing for the past decade, if not a little bit longer. So what this has meant is that the amount of time and money we spend in leisure experiences in the home, we call it in-home entertainment, has steadily increased at the expense of out-of-home entertainment. And so we are spending more time at home even before COVID. And of course, this has only been accelerated and I would say embedded and entrenched through COVID. I mean, we do entertainment at home now via Zoom meetings where we chat with our friends. I've just done a course online at home. We order in, we buy our retail items on home. We do yoga lessons from home. So exercise from home, esports, e-games from home. So there's no doubt that we are all spending more time at home at the expense of out-of-home entertainment. The good news is when we do decide to leave home, the research shows we're doing so with greater intent and with a set amount of money to spend in our pockets. So we know that when we leave home, we're looking for an experience and we plan to spend money on the experience. Of course, the problem is, and you can perhaps have a look at my website, curiositas.co, I wrote an article to say it's the Netflix effect, whereby we are actually having to overcome a whole lot of hurdles to leave home. And I think attractions and visitor experiences out of the home need to understand that you're fighting for people's discretionary spend, their time and their money. And these are more complicated decisions to make now, not just because of COVID, but when leaving home and driving there and parking, all of that does not add to the experience. It's of no benefit at all. So a lot of operators don't think about that it's not just the 2 hours they're spending with you, it's everything around it. Long answer, yes, we will leave home to have what we call locations-based socialization. But it's certainly less often. And so we all have to work harder for that.
There was a buzzword, even when you and I were working together on Cape Town Tourism's board, and it was around experiences, it was around authenticity, meaning and purpose through travel. Will they remain valid during post-COVID?
Yes, I think they will. So again, buzzwords can come and go. Megatrends, which are trends that change the way or affect or perhaps influence the way we behave, are long-term trends. In futures thinking, we talk about megatrends, which is a minimum of 10 years. The experience economy has been something that has been spoken about for more than 20 years already. Pine and Gilmore wrote the experience economy 20 years ago, and they've just re-released the book and updated it. Fantastic book, I highly recommend for anyone to read. And really that's filtered through to everything we do. It's not just actual tourism experiences, but also retail experiences, etc. We don't show off about what we've bought anymore. You don't see people saying on Instagram, look what I've bought. The majority of posts are, look what I've done. And we define ourselves by the type of experiences we have and with whom we have those experiences. So there's now a lot of research to say, you know, we save up for peak experiences, either bucket list things or weddings or big celebrations. We look for very unusual experiences that are rare and unique that no one else has had. And this is not necessarily something you've paid more money for. It might be that perfect sunset that you only see from a certain angle on the beach and you know a friend who can get you there. So the experience economy is very much here to stay. But I think other trends that have been accelerated through COVID is really the focus on health and wellness. I mean, our health is our new wealth, and mental anxiety has again only been exacerbated through COVID-19. And so really how our out-of-home experiences support mental health and physical health is something that I think is here to stay as well.
And that will be across many markets or any markets. It'll be across the budget market right up into a super luxury market. And I mean, that sunset will be equal to the budget as well as it will be equal to the person who wants to see it, who has got many millions to spend.
Absolutely. We take ourselves with ourselves when we travel. So you might say, I'll have more ice cream than when I'm living at home, but on day 3, you're ready to eat a salad again and put on your running shoes. And yeah, I mean, I think health and wellness is absolutely the new focus area, because aging but being unhealthy is no aging at all. So it really is about how many healthy years you have ahead of you to do the things that you want to do. Yeah. And people are investing in that in every sense of the word.
And prepare for that, absolutely. Now, talking about megatrends, what would you say are the megatrends that you're seeing right now in travel, apart from the health and wellness? Is there anything where you say this is really interesting and this is going to develop into megatrend is already there?
Yeah, so I think, I mean, what we do is I scan what are called weak signals, and you try and track them to see what is going to become a stronger signal. And again, you know, my focus really is on the visitor attractions industry. So I'm going to be writing an article this month for the Institute of Futures Research on the prescription of cultural experiences as part of your mental well-being. So doctors have prescribed going for a run and getting fit. There is now a movement towards prescribing museum experiences and garden experiences. Wow. And cultural experiences for your mental well-being. And studies have shown that people are healthier when they are experiencing these healthy mental spaces. So it's not only spaces to play, but spaces to regenerate. So ultimately, I mean, there's a lot of mega trends at play, but the two that I'd like to focus on in this conversation, one is demographics. You know, the future is unpredictable, but demographics is the one thing that you can kind of track and see how it's going to play out. Africa is a young continent. We know that. It's the youngest continent in the world. Our average age is a whole lot younger. So you've got youth that want to engage with leisure spaces in a different way to older people that also need to be employed. And there's a lot of implications for all of that. And then, of course, you've got an older demographic that is the traveling demographic worldwide. So I think exploring those two trends is very important. And then the trend towards locations-based socialization. So I've said in-home entertainment has grown at the expense of out-of-home entertainment, but people are wanting to leave home to socialize at a location. So they will say, even pre-COVID, they will say, let's meet at the Tate Gallery in London, and we'll see where we go from there. And the Tate has done some research, and 51% of people said they came to the Tate to meet a friend.
Wow.
They didn't look at what art was on. That was secondary. It was locations-based socialization. And there's a lot of articles there. That's why we go to restaurants and have long tables and chat to each other. Slightly different now in COVID times, but for sure, the socializing out of the home at a location is the trend.
And this is what we miss so much.
Absolutely.
And which will
perhaps might be accelerated now that it's been taken away from us. Yeah. You know, they've done some research in the States as to what are the top emotional drivers for people leaving home. This was pre-COVID. And the answer was a place where we can have fun together. So the element is fun and together. A unique experience that's out of the ordinary, and a place that we can be entertained for adults and children. So essentially it's what's been referred to as high fidelity real experiences using all the senses, because as yet we still can't replicate those at home and online. So multi-sensory experience, fun, unique, and family orientated is why people say, I'll put my hand in my pocket, I'll dedicate my time, I'll get in that car, and I'll go to that location to
yeah, I subscribe to that, definitely. Absolutely. March is Women's Month. Where is the equity, the equality, the equal opportunities? Where's that going with your hat on as a futurist and in context of tourism? Is it going somewhere? Does it need to be pushed harder?
I think it is absolutely going for somewhere. If you look back 20 years compared to where we are now, come a long way, clearly not enough. One of my favorite futurists is called Faith Popcorn, and she wrote about evolution, the revolution of the women in the world and in the workplace 25 years ago. It's been a very slow journey, and it certainly needs to speed up. And of course, it's different in different societies, in different contexts, in different cultures. I don't think it's across the board, but it definitely is moving forward. And it helps that there's other women in the boardroom now who can make other women feel connected. You know, it's really important that you see people like you doing things that you want to do. And that applies to, I think, race as well. You say, well, if they can do it, I can do it. So I think that's really important. A lot to be done still, for sure, but got to keep moving forward.
Absolutely. With that view into the future, Sabine, thank you so much for your time. Really appreciate it. And as I said, we are due for that drink very, very soon in the outside, because we're blessed with beautiful weather and beautiful wine as well. Have a lovely day. Great chatting to you. Thank you so much, Sabine. Take care.
Bye. Thanks, Nils.
Bye.